Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is Kyle, shut up, and you in danger, girl, because you're doing the absolute most, and we're tired of it, boo boo. But before we dive into why Kyle needs to pipe down, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It's a fun and easy way to support the show, and I'd really appreciate it. So, with that, let's go. So, yikes. Kyle, I think I was probably the only person on the planet who was team Kyle when it came to Kyle versus Dorit. And I stand by that. I'm not a Kyle fan, but when it comes to her versus Dorit, I am on Kyle's side. Now, when it comes to Kyle versus Garcelle, Team Garcelle all day, every day, and Kyle is really on one for this. Now, this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Kyle Richards took aim at Garcelle Bouvet after her Real Housewives of Beverly Hills castmate told her, quote, "If you want to be a lesbian, on last night's episode of the show. Before lashing out at Sutton Strack for suggesting that there was, quote, infidelity in her marriage to estranged husband Mauricio Umansky, Kyle slammed Garcelle as a, quote, a-hole, as Garcelle defended the comment, seemingly accusing her co-star of bringing it on with her behavior, with rumored flame Morgan Wade. What was really going through my head was, you're being an a-hole right now. And don't try to act like oopsie daisies. You know exactly what you're doing, Kyle stated on the January 14th episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show. I was thinking, if you're thinking you're going to get a reaction from me or I'm going to be offended, I'm not. As Kyle noted, Garcelle's suggestion was nothing she hadn't, quote, seen in the tabloids. And that aspect, I don't care. But what I do care about was like, what are you getting at? Kyle recalled. Also, looking back on the moment in question, Garcelle explained her statement. It was about, we are grown women. We're people's mothers. We're people's grandmothers, she revealed. I wasn't pushing her to come out. What I was saying is, be whoever you want to be. I'm not trying to call her out. Own it. Be authentic. According to Garcelle, she believes Kyle cares too much about what people think. If this is who you are, or even if you're discovering it, discover it and own it. We're allowed to be who we are at this age, she declared. If it's something you're exploring, you know what? I don't know what it's going to be at the end of the day, but right now I'm exploring that. I think people understand that I can connect when you're more authentic about your journey as opposed to, I'm not doing that. I haven't thought about it. We're just friends, she continued. Garcelle put it out that Kyle had done plenty to fuel the rumors. You're doing a music video. You're picking her up at the airport. You're morphing into looking like her. Like all of those things to me say something else, she explained. Okay. Let's talk about that, and then we'll get into the whole infidelity question of it all with Sutton and Mauricio. Number one, Garcelle, chef's kiss. Kyle, stop playing in our faces. Stop it. Number one, the reason why Kyle, in my opinion, gets so out of pocket about this is because, and I stand by this, I don't think Kyle and Morgan are in a lesbian sexual relationship. I think it was I think Kyle was like going through something which she's still going through. I do believe she was listening to Morgan's music, reached out to her on Instagram. Morgan and her team were like, let's milk this for all it's worth. Let's get the clicks and the views. Let's get the Instagram and TikTok followers. Let's get you on the show. Let's pump this up. Let's milk this and basically use Kyle for money and fame. I mean, it's LA. They're going to use you for money and fame. What can you do for me, baby, right? But I think that it got out of hand. And when they tried to end the whole PR relationship thing, it kind of blew up in their face. Remember when Morgan deleted all of the photos on Instagram? Because now the audience, we are so smart and savvy, there would have been such blowback. Then all of a sudden, Kyle and Morgan are hanging out again. Come on. But Kyle can't say that. Kyle can't say, this was a fake relationship. I was trying to make Mauricio jealous. I needed a storyline, and I was just doing the most, and all of this is a big sham. Because also don't forget, when Kyle and Morgan tried to end their fake relationship, Kyle's on Jeff Lewis being like, I don't really know Morgan like that. She's just one of my friends that I text. I don't really know her like that. It's really not that deep. We're not that close. And then Morgan was like, this chick stalked me. And now and then last season, Morgan was on the show. She was on multiple episodes. Now, all of a sudden, Kyle can't even say Morgan's name on the show because that little PR relationship is backfiring. Because now maybe Morgan's team is like, maybe we hitched ourselves to the wrong ride. So, of course, Kyle can't come out and be like, yeah, all of this was fake. All of this was for a storyline to make Mauricio jealous. And now it's all out of control. And we can no longer control this PR stuff because you can't talk about the media and the tabloids because you call paparazzi on yourself. The only reason why paparazzi know that you're at the Coffee Bean on La Cienega is because you called the backrid, you called the paparazzi and said, we're going to be at the Coffee Bean on La Cienega, come take some photos of us. You call the paparazzi on yourself. You get in all these blogs and tabloids yourself. You're kissing this woman down in a music video that was your choice. You're getting the tattoos, just like Garcelle said, you're morphing into her. You're doing the absolute most because you're going through a midlife crisis. You wanted your husband's attention and you wanted a storyline, but you can't come out and say that. So instead, you're going to call Queen Garcelle an a-hole because she said the quiet part out loud? Even Erica was like, yeah, Garcelle is asking the questions I want to ask because everybody's looking at Kyle like, Kyle, you're whack, you're crazy, you're a gaslighter, and you're corny as hell. Kyle, you're corny. How dare you call Garcelle an a-hole? Look in the mirror, sweetheart. In my Tyra Banks voice, I was rooting for you. I've never been a Kyle fan, but I was on her side with the Dorit situation, but it's like making it so hard. It's making it so hard, Kyle, when you do stuff like this. Okay? Team Garcelle, all the way. All right, let's get into the other situation. And also, another reason why I'm Team Garcelle is because Garcelle herself has been transparent about her sexuality. She's like, I've thought about being with a woman. I'm open to that and seeing what that would be. She hasn't been like, no, I'm, just for men and I'm just that. And then she's like judging somebody else or trying to force somebody else out. She also hasn't been like a Bryn who's been like overly hyper-sexualized and sort of, using sexuality as a cover. She's just been very real and authentic. And she's like, look, I'm a woman of a particular age. I've been married. I've been divorced. I have my kids. I'm single. I don't know what that looks like. I've never been with a woman, but like maybe I would. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just exploring myself now, and now I just get to be me and figure out what that me is. And I love Garcelle for that. Love Team Garcelle. All right, now let's talk about the infidelity and the Sutton situation. Okay. So during another segment of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show, the infidelity claims Sutton made about Kyle's marriage to Mauricio was addressed. I can't believe Sutton went there, Garcelle admitted. Sometimes things slip out of my mouth, and I did ask. I did, Sutton replied. I remember we had talked about how if it's infidelity, if you check someone on Instagram. We're also in this very nebulous stage in their separation. During a separation, when does it become okay to like have a relationship with someone? Okay, so I gotta call Sutton out. Sutton, you were not talking about Instagram because even on the confessional, the producer was like, oh, you're talking about Instagram. And she said, full face, she's like, no. And it's not infidelity if they're separated. So Sutton, just be honest, you were talking about all this, like Garcelle said, you said the quiet part out loud, all of the allegations. Has Mauricio been cheating on Kyle for decades? Okay? Own it. Meanwhile, reflecting on the incident herself, Kyle said that despite Sutton telling her that she didn't know why she made the comment, she absolutely does not believe that was an accident. I really thought, wow, I thought we were good friends and that we'd fix things, and now I'm not feeling like I really trust you at all, Kyle shared. She already apologized to me profusely over the comments last year about the ring that I had bought myself, and she actually apologized to Mo and my daughter Alexia in New York City when she bumped into them, and now she does that again. Following the incident, Kyle decided that she wouldn't be sharing or trusting Sutton, as she noted that a wall went up between them at that moment. Will I be nice to her? Will we get along? Yes, but I still think about it, she explained. She said, I'm so sorry I said that. I thought you had said that. And I was like, I kind of felt like you did. I don't think I'm naive. But in those moments, I'm like, wow. And I will never forget that. I see you. Yeah, and we see you too, Kyle. Like, that's the thing. You can't be mad at Sutton for asking the question about infidelity when that question has been floating around for years. Sutton didn't create that. That's not a secret between you and her. That's something that the entire world has been speculating about. That's something even you speculated about when you brought the little photo to Bozema, being like, the screenshot of Dorit smelling Mauricio. That's a question of infidelity, emotional, sexual, who knows? But this is the thing, Kyle, you can't be mad at Sutton for asking the question that's on our minds. Sutton's doing her job too. And it's not Sutton's job to protect your secrets at all cost. Now, if you came to Sutton off camera and was like, listen, this is what I am going through. Please don't bring it up. This is like my quote, real life. And she betrayed you and brought it up on camera, then yeah, I would be on your side, because that's different. Sure, you're on a reality show, but people still should be allowed to have privacy and boundaries and a level of trust and loyalty between their friends, even if they're coworkers, even if they're co-stars, right? So that's one thing. But that's not what Sutton did. Sutton just asked the question that has been on everybody's mind and on every tabloid. So you can't act like Sutton betrayed you when you never really came to her with something vulnerable either, So there's that. But as always, you guys, I want to know what you think about this. What do you think about Kyle calling Garcelle an a-hole? What do you think about Garcelle saying, if you're a lesbian, be a lesbian? And the big infidelity question, was Sutton right to bring it up? Or did she betray Kyle? So as always, you guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.